So recently, I watched a show called Dr. Arora, which is a Sony Live original, and it has been created by Imitiaz Ali and Sajid Ali. And I interviewed two of its main characters, Kumud Mishra and Vidya Malvade. And this is what they had to say about the show, the characters they are playing, and what makes this show so unique.
Because when I read it, as a story, it was so interesting that I never even thought of him as, I mean, he could have been a heart surgeon for whatever it's worth. You know what I mean? I mean, I know there is a section of the society that will look at it and go, oh my God, sexologist, you know? But I don't know. I don't know. That sort of never really. Also, I think maybe because I'm a Bombay bred girl and I don't think it's as, prevalent here as it probably is in the north of India, like you said. Also, I mean, we've just generally seen these Bengali Baba kind of, cutouts at railway stations and things, but nothing really that would stick like how you are saying it. And so when I read it, like I said, it was such a fantastic read for one that and the thing is, even though the subject is so to say taboo, but the way it's sort of written and the way it flows, it's such a light-hearted space. It's there is a lot of drama, of course, and I know how difficult it might be for people who go through issues that are being kind of talked about in this show. But having said that, when you take such a serious subject and actually say it in a light-hearted manner, it just makes things a little more amazing. Kumud ji, who also is like this, who's somebody who you can sort of relate to and talk to about your issues because that's his character. He's a doctor, and yeah. So and for me, finally, eventually, my character, which I think is, I don't know. I think it's one of the most complex characters that I have played or tried to play on screen, and I think it's from the moment I read for it, from that first scene that I read, I was just completely immersed into her. I spent 4 months with this script with Vaishali before we started filming, which is, I think, the longest that I've spent with a script for a very long time because I think I'm mostly everybody's last minute choice and I come on board literally like 1-2 days before the shoot. That happened with Mismatch, that happened with Lose Your Daddy, that also happened with Bamini at a certain level. But 4 months that I literally just sat and gave myself. We went through a lockdown in the middle.
जैसे मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था और जैसे हम हमारी जो यात्रा होती है इस सब्जेक्ट को लेकर के समाज की जैसी यात्रा है वैसी मेरी यात्रा रही है। मैं भी जज करता था, मैं भी जब दीवारों पे देखता था तो मैं भी हंसता था, मजाक उड़ाता था। मुझे लगता था कि कौन लोग होंगे जो यहाँ इन डॉक्टरों के पास जाते होंगे और कौन से डॉक्टर होंगे जो इस तरह की अपना गुप्त रोग विशेषज्ञ आए या मिले, ये सब तो जाहिर है मेरे 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 भी अपने बायसेस थे। तो जब ये सब्जेक्ट मेरे पास आया तो मेरे मन में भी संदेह था। इनिशियली इम्तियाज साहब ने जब फोन किया था तो जाहिर है मैं हाँ ही करता, मेरे पास कोई चारा नहीं था। लेकिन जब सब्जेक्ट मुझे पता चला और उसके बारे में थोड़ा मैंने पढ़ा, इनिशियल एक स्टोरी लाइन पढ़ी तो मुझे डाउट हुआ। तो मुझे लगा था मैंने संदेह दिखाया था उनको, लेकिन इम्तियाज साहब बोलते हैं मैंने मना कर दिया था। तो जाहिर है मैं घबरा गया था। मुझे लगा कि इस सब्जेक्ट से, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता था कि कैसे डील किया जाएगा। लेकिन जब स्क्रिप्ट मैंने पढ़ी तो वो पढ़ने के बाद मुझे लगा कि ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है, इस पे बात होनी चाहिए, चर्चा होनी चाहिए और इस पे काम होना चाहिए। वो बात की बात है, लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है एज एन एक्टर मुझे ये बहुत चैलेंजिंग लगा। मैंने इस तरह का कुछ किया नहीं था तो मुझे लगा ये करना चाहिए। तो
So the thing is, for me as well, for me to sort of understand that, there's a line that Arora says in the thing: if a man would have done this, it would have been okay. But just because you're a woman, you think of yourself like this. The fact of the matter is, I mean, Archit and I used to have this discussion about, dude, I'm probably going to get big bats for what I'm doing in this. Good actor, wo sab baad mein hai. Pehle, if the men are going to go out and say, what is she doing? She's such a slut. The fact of the matter is that forget about everybody else saying what they say to her about her. For Vaishali, she has made up her mind that she's a slut. When she tells him off in the last episode, she tells him off in terms of, tum mujhe kya, what are you making me feel bad about, what I'm doing or whatever, dude. This is what I am. Don't you know? I am a slut. So, like, it's just so, I could just, when I'd get tears in my eyes reading that, because I'd feel like, how much guilt has she carried with her in the last 17 years? How much does she judge herself, dude? And the fact of the matter is, being a woman myself, I also have done that. I have judged myself at every level, and I have had eyes judging me at every level. I think all of us do. So, somewhere I think, and I think guilt is just a part of being a woman for some reason, dude. For everything we feel guilty. अच्छा घर पे आज इस तरह का खाना नहीं बना है, I should have taken the lead. It's just always there, for little things to the bigger things. So I sometimes think that there was just so much, such complex little layers that Vaishali had. And the first thing I read, and the first thing that just glared at me about her was her melancholy, her loneliness. It's just there for you to see. It's not, that's why I guess that song Khalipan really works. Khali is what it is. She's got her children, she's got her house, she's got her husband. All of that is there, but there is an emptiness which is constantly there. There's a fragility about her. There's a slight mysteriousness about her, which I've absolutely loved creating, which we all, I think, absolutely loved creating. Is also the way it's shot. And there is something simmering within. All of these feelings that have been there forever are simmering just within. There's a volcano there, but the front is so cold and so distant. And so it's almost like you can look, but you can't touch. And there are not many lines, except of course in the end when the volcano erupts. But there are very few words and lines. It's all about the eyes, the face, the persona, the body language, the things. It's just unsaid. Everything, most of it is unsaid. And I think that is what for me was like the biggest takeaway in terms of, I remember in the end, once everything was put together and Imtiaz saw the final cut of the last episode, he sent me a voice note saying, I think you've done such a fantastic job with Vaishali, and you've held her together so beautifully, because that last episode and that whole outburst was so, it was like a monkey on our backs, mine and Kumudji's both, and even Archit's for that matter. I must have rehearsed it in the front of the mirror and with myself for, I don't know, at least 1,000,000 times. It used to just keep coming back. And I remember Kumud Mishra and me telling Imtiaz on our first meeting itself that we like finish this first only. So it's, it's over and done with, because that sequence is so difficult, otherwise also for an actor, and just to get into that really uncomfortable space. But yeah, it did work out really well. And I got this amazing voice note from Imtiaz saying that you've done so phenomenally well, and you've really held it together, and thank you so much. And I was crying, I was in tears, because I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad. And I remember on set also, once we finished filming that particular scene, everybody was in tears.
I think हमारे दिमाग में रोमांस, अभी भी हम हिंदी मूवीज जो देखते हैं सबसे ज्यादा या देख के बड़े हुए, हमारे दिमाग में रोमांस का ना एक जगह है फॉर सम रीजन, जो कि बिग सिटी ही होती है कहीं ना कहीं, और एक उम्र होती है फॉर सम रीजन व्हिच इज ऑलवेज यंग, सो हाउ डज इट फील लाइक टू बी लुकिंग एट रोमांस एक छोटे सी जगह पे, एक ऐसा प्रोफेशन जो अगेन लोग बड़े शंका के नजर से देखते हैं, और फिर अगेन रोमांस व्हिच इज नॉट यूजुअल, एक थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स सा रोमांस, लेकिन कहानी के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. तो उस रोमांस के बारे में आप प्लीज थोड़ा बताइए.
मतलब मैं उसको उस तरह से नहीं देखता हूँ. मैं तो सिर्फ ऐसे देखता हूँ कि ये कैरेक्टर है और इसके जिंदगी में जो घट रहा है, तो और जैसे हर आदमी होता है वैसे ही इसके जीवन में भी रोमांस है, इसके जीवन की भी जरूरत है, इसके जीवन में भी कविता है, पोइट्री है. अब ये इसकी पोइट्री मेरी पोइट्री से और आपकी पोइट्री से अलग होगी, है ना? बस वही फर्क है। और वो कैसे है, वो अप्रोच क्या होगी, वो इसमें दिखाया गया है। तो खास इसलिए हो जाता है, अलग इसलिए लगता है क्योंकि कैरेक्टर अलग है। तो हमने कैरेक्टर को ध्यान में रखते हुए इसके रोमांस को दिखाया है, ना कि हमने एक पॉपुलर जो नोशन है उसके तहत हमने सोचा है। तो ये जब देखेगा, और हम सब के अंदर रोमांस तो भरा ही हुआ है। तो अब वो हमको जब भी मौका मिलता है, हर एक्टर का सपना होता है कि एक गाना मिल जाए, एक ऐसा मोमेंट मिल जाए। तो करने में मुझे बहुत बहुत मजा आया, मुझे अच्छा लगा। मैं या मैं इसके बारे में क्या बताऊं, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा। जी जी।
और आपके क्योंकि बहुत सारे क्रूशियल सीन्स विद्या मालवाड़ी के साथ थे एंड है, उनके कैरेक्टर के साथ आपका एक लंबा वो फ्लैशबैक चलता रहता है and पूरी जर्नी होती है, यू नो हाउ डज डॉक्टर अरोरा बिकम डॉक्टर अरोरा, व्हाई डज ही फाइनली डिसाइड टू हेल्प पीपल जिनके भी समस्याएं हैं। तो उनके साथ यू नो हाउ वाज इट वर्किंग विद हर, हाउ वाज द केमिस्ट्री, हाउ डिड यू अप्रोच, लाइक बिकॉज अगेन ये बड़ा यूजुअल तो नहीं, यूजुअल रोमांस भी नहीं है कहीं ना कहीं ये,
जी
मतलब एक
जी
स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड यूजुअल रोमांस नहीं है। तो कैसा
जी
था वो एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ, लाइक आई सेड, उस रोमांस को बाहर लाना जो कि थोड़ा उतना यूजुअल नहीं है।
जी। वो एक तो बहुत ही काबिल अभिनेत्री हैं, बहुत ही कमाल की अभिनेत्री हैं वो। आपने सीरीज देखी तो आपको पता चलेगा, तो मेरे कहने की जरूरत नहीं उसके लिए। लेकिन जब दो एक्टर्स पहली बार मिलते हैं और काम करना शुरू करते हैं, तो हमेशा हर बार ऐसा नहीं होता है कि हम हम आते हैं और हम एक दूसरे के साथ इतने कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं कि वाह बहुत अच्छा होगा। हम एक दूसरे को समय लेते हैं जानने में। तो वो जो यात्रा है, वो जो समय लेना होता है जानने की, समझने की एक दूसरे को, वो एक बार वो जो इनहिबिशन वाला जो तार अगर टूट जाता है, वो मतलब वो खत्म हो जाता है, तो फिर आपका काम करना और आसान हो जाता है। तो उस तरह से हमको बहुत मजा आया काम करने में, हम दोनों को बहुत मजा आया, मतलब मुझे तो बहुत ही मजा आया। और क्या होता है, आप जो एक्ट मतलब जब हम परफॉर्म कर रहे होते हैं, तो वो बहुत जरूरी होता है कि आप किसी की आंखों में देख करके आप जो कहना चाहते हैं कह पाएँ बिना किसी झिझक के। वो वो उनकी आँखों में है वो बात। तो मुझे तो करने में बहुत मज़ा आया। मुझे उनके साथ सीन्स करने में बहुत मज़ा आया। और अ, अब इससे ज़्यादा तो मैं क्या ही कह पाऊँगा। मेरे लिए उन्होंने, अब मैं ब ब बता नहीं सकता, लेकिन एक एक उन्होंने सीन किया है जो मेरे लिए, मुझे लगता है उन्होंने बहुत ही कमाल का किया। और मैंने कई बार जब भी उनसे बात हुई है, मैंने मतलब मैं जब डब करने गया था, जब भी गया था, तो मैंने उनको बताया कि अ, आप एक एक्टर के तौर पे जब काम भी कर रहे होते हैं, तो आप सामने वाले अभिनेता से बहुत कुछ ले रहे होते हैं। तो वो जो सीन उन्होंने किया है, उससे मैंने बहुत कुछ लिया है एक अभिनेता के तौर पे।
So since again most of your scenes are with Dr. Arora or Kumud Mishra, please tell us, would you have anything fun or interesting from your you know experience shooting with him? Anything that you could tell us and the audience might have a glimpse as well?
This cute little roly-poly man that Kumudji is, and everybody, he's this Dr. Arora. This they asked us to tell. Okay, so what is define his character in one word? And everybody said such nice things about it, and I was like, I think he's conniving because that's what he is to me in the film, right? And he's done it so well. He's such a player. I mean, can you imagine him to be a player? But that's what Dr. Arora is. But I think, like I said, I'd never known him before. I've only heard of him and seen his work, which is quite outstanding, really. And I think it's high time that he's now getting his due. And when we, just the camaraderie that we shared on set was a lot of fun. It was always like, अच्छा तुम इस scene में मुझसे अच्छा करोगी, चलो देखते हैं. And I'd be like, आप देख लेना, I'm तो magic हूँ. There was this banter was going on throughout, and then I messaged him yesterday because I was really missing him on the the launch of the song, his and my song. Can you imagine? 20 years in the industry, my first love song has finally come, and what a song, Mehram. Mehram, it was so nice. And I was really missing him on that day because, he's it's his and my love song. So basically, but I think throughout it's just, Like if I felt that I was Vaishali from day one, and I felt that he was Vishesh Arora from day one. And that's just how we both have, been with each other. Constantly supporting each other, constantly cracking jokes, constantly just, I don't know, helping each other evolve as people and as characters. And that's just it. So like I said, that I had to really thank him for that whole outburst and that whole situation, the whole last scene that we did in the last episode. It was just, thankfully I had him.
You've heard what would the actors have to say about the show. The show is already out on the OTT platform and you can check it out. In the meantime, for more such interviews, do keep watching The Print and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on our social media handles. This is Tina Das for The Print. Thank you.